Okay, welcome back in. So staying in the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles have re-signed Saquon Barkley to a two-year, $41.2 million contract, which makes him the richest running back to date. The one thing with running backs is that it seems like they don't have as long of a tenure compared to other positions, and with all due respect, they got to deal with a lot more hitting compared to receivers and quarterbacks because if they're running the ball, everybody on the defensive side wants to hit the running back. Doesn't matter how they do it, but it just seems like a lifespan for a running back nowadays is definitely not as long as, like I said, compared to tight ends, receivers, quarterbacks, and any other position really when you think about it. So I'm just going to go over his stats from his rookie year with the Giants until this past breakout season with the Philadelphia Eagles. So in the 2018 season, his only season that he played with Eli Manning, just a little side note, he had 261 carries, 1,307 yards rushing, and 11 touchdowns. That was pretty impressive for a rookie season. In 2019, he had 217 attempts, 1,003 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So his touchdowns did drop down a little bit. His carries dropped down a bit, but he still had 2 1,000-yard seasons in his first 2 years. 2020, he would be plagued by injuries. He only had 19 carries and 34 yards total. 2021, another off season to say the least, 162 attempts, 593 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. 2022, he'd get back above 1,000 yards, 1,312 to be exact. He had 10 touchdowns on 295 carries. 2023, his last year in New York, he had 247 attempts, 962 rushing yards, and 6 total touchdowns. This past season with the Philadelphia Eagles, he had 345 attempts, which was a career high. He did reach the 2,000-yard mark, which is always a very impressive feat, especially for a running back, finishing with 2,005 exactly and 13 touchdowns. So he broke all of his records from attempts, yards, and touchdowns just in his first season with the Eagles. I think he's fitting in quite well with Philadelphia, and I know I have talked about how Washington can be a threat in the NFC. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Eagles back in the Super Bowl in the following year. They're just a very, very good team, and defensively, as long as they have Vic Fangio as their DC, they can do really great things in this upcoming season. So I think they're going to be a threat yet again in the NFC, and I wouldn't be surprised, again, if they made it back to the Super Bowl and this same picture was in the following Super Bowl. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. A big signing, like I said, for the Eagles, and I'm sure he couldn't be happier to be staying in the city of brotherly love. All right, that's going to take care of this little video. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.